Hey, Will, do you want to know what's the basis of the fable?
If you want to tell me, I have no objection to hearing this idea.
It's about two rabbits who are choosing the name for their offspring. Sounds familiar, right?
Honey, you know how I feel about names. I don't want my firstborn to be called Henry. If you really have to name him after an ancestor, at least make it someone respectable.
Don't be so stubborn. Think about all the great things he's done for our country. He's still considered as one of the greatest and most efficient kings of England. He started the Reformation of England and he founded the Church of England. And he influenced the national consciousness. And most importantly, he started to reign in the medieval kingdom and he ended in a modern state. We're still living in England made by him.
But still, Kate, I don't want to name my child after one of the biggest philanderers of our family. I mean, he was notoriously crazy about women. I want our child to be named after someone both capable and morally irreproachable. I don't want any gossiping after his birth.
Okay then, so how about Edward?
Let me guess, you're talking about Edward VIII. You know, honey, again, just because he was considered handsome and well-rounded doesn't mean you have to name a child after him.
But he was forced to ration a lot of his personal pleasures during the World Wars, and his actions were eerily effective. He was very important and he was the dominant figure, and people saw him on his numerous visits into the industrial areas and they loved him.
Yes, and he was also famously intolerant towards other races and cultures. You know what he said about the aborigines.
No.
Oh, so you don't know? Well, I suggest you Google it.
They're the most revolting form of living creatures I've ever seen. They're the lowest form of human beings and are the nearest thing to monkeys. So what if it's a girl? I was thinking about naming her Elizabeth, but not just like the Queen, also like Elizabeth I.
You have a point. She was definitely one of the bravest, most clever and charismatic monarchs ever.
And extraordinarily cultured. She had a terrible youth which unexpectedly bred in her a kind of humanity.
Exactly. I'm certain without her England wouldn't be what it is today. She was the first true patriot, and she was also the first woman to reign over England successfully. She also had a very important role for other females leading countries after her. They could be relegated to the sidelines without her being so important. She overshadowed every other sovereign in her time.
And she's also lived very long, isn't she? Wasn't she about 100 years old?
Yes, she was 101 years old when she went to her ethereal home. I think she died from a viral infection, but her relatives never published her official post-mortem findings. I don't think they had any reason to, actually.
So we agree now. If it's a girl, she's Elizabeth.
We agree. Grandmother will be very pleased to hear that.
Finally we made that one decision.
But what about if it's a boy?
I think we could never agree about that. We should leave the decision to its godfather.
I think that's a great idea. Harry will be very pleased with that. What's happening to him is a real prodigy. He has so much verve about this baby, and I didn't even know he liked children.
Oh, and that reminds me, I forgot to tell you that he already sent a crib made of spruce for our baby. He sent it last week and it came through post, and I was so shocked. I think he really deserves to be the godfather.
Well, let's call him.